Welcome back to the No Limit Crypto channel, a channel where I try to bring you the best trading alerts every single day. I want to start off by saying this is not financial advice, these are my own opinions, and let's get right into it. So we're looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was forming this kind of wedge pattern. I don't personally really care about these patterns and where they're gonna break out per se, but I draw these patterns to see, when something is going to happen. So, when I see this pattern forming, I know that there's something in the market, like something's going to happen soon. And Bitcoin and Cardano was actually forming this pretty similar pattern. So we had this resistance line up here, this sloping resistance line. And then we also had a resistance line up here at 50,000, and in Cardano's case the resistance line was at $3. And when I was talking about Cardano, I was concerned if it's gonna have the momentum to break the $3 mark. And it's pretty similar here in Bitcoin. I kind of expected us to break up, but like when I enter a trade right here, I have not entered a trade right here, of course, because the issue is, like, when we break this trend line right here, we don't really know if we're gonna have enough momentum in the market to break above the $50,000 mark too. So in this case, I start looking for trades once we have broken this $50,000 mark. Not right here, this $50,000 mark. And right now we have actually not closed a single candle in a important time frame above this $50,000 range. So what I mean by important time frames is basically 4 hours and above. So I bet if I know I've looked at it, but if I go down to a 1 hour time frame, we're going to see that some candles actually closed above the 50k mark. But to me, I don't really like looking at shorter time frames than 4 hours. If I look for precise entry points, I might go down in the time frames just to, catch the wave in the right direction in the shortest term. But it doesn't make a huge difference. So right now I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for, even there's 5 minutes left of this candle. And if this closes above the $50,000 mark, I'm probably gonna enter a trade here. Or I am going to enter a trade here. And what I'm like, let's look at the targets where we could go. I've drawn this like 51k line here. It's a tiny line. It's a tiny blue line, which for me means there might be some form of resistance, but I definitely do not expect it to form anything major. And what's next above the 51k? I actually think, this might sound crazy, but I think we have a pretty free passage up to the 58k mark. Because if we go back in time and look at this, falling here, we can see that this fall from this 58k mark down to here to the 50k, this is just a couple of candles. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That happened in 20 hours. So there is no real resistance here. And that's why I actually think that we have a pretty free passage up to the 58k. So this could be a really nice trade to enter. Let's say we enter, around this 50k mark, we could be looking at a 15% gain. And I think this 15% is gonna come in a very short time period. It might happen this week. you know. And there's some other good things happening too right now. So we're looking at the RSI on the 4 hour. I don't pay that much attention to this when I trade, but you know, it's nice to know. And we can see here that the RSI is actually breaking this trend line. And what I really look at it, I want to end this sort of bearish divergence that we're having here. So I want this to break also this high right here. These highs right here. I want to see this broken. Just as a nice to know, you don't need to be that scared anymore. You know, when we start seeing bearish divergences, we have to be a bit concerned about the market. We have to move safely. And also we saw that yesterday on the 4 hour time frame, the MACD actually had a good cross, a bullish cross on the 4 hour time frame. And on the daily time frame, it's already happened. Oh, it hasn't actually happened. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Yeah. So I was looking at this here too. I also want to see this trend line broken at some point. You know, it might happen right here. It might not. There's nothing certain here. And this actually looks like it might turn into a bullish cross. All of these are nice things to see in the market. So the main thing that I'm looking at right now is obviously this break, and there's 1 minute left, so I might babble on for a minute just to see if it closes above the 50k range and see. So I'm gonna pause this here and I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. I'm back, and we actually saw the 4 hour candle close above the 50,000. It closed at a $50,072. So what you guys now need to think about is, do you want to enter a trade right now, right here, right when you see this video? Or do you want to take the more conservative approach, which in my prediction could be something like us going up here to this 51,400 line, coming back down here to test the 50k, and this is where you would enter. This is a very possible scenario that you could play out, and then it's gonna go up here somewhere. So you gotta decide, do you want to take the aggressive approach, enter right here, or the more conservative approach and enter later. This is all from me. Thank you. Stay safe. Peace out.